What's going on, everyone? Harris Rubenstein here for NBA Now. We are 20 games away from the NBA playoffs, so we're going to talk about the NBA MVP award, give you a little power rankings, and then compare our top competitors. Let's start at number 5 with Joel Embiid. Finally playing a mostly fully healthy season, kind of, sort of. He's missed the past week or so just with rest, not with an official injury. So it'll be interesting to see how Embiid's going to end up finishing the season. But so far at the start, he has been the most dominant big man in the Eastern Conference this year, has really been the catalyst behind the 76ers' success this year and, of course, last year. He's played some great basketball for the Sixers, including being one of the best, if not the best, defensive big man as well in the NBA today. He has certainly clinched a place in the top 10 pantheon of NBA players, and this year, at least in our opinion here at Chat Sports, he has certainly earned a place on our list at number 5 on our MVP power rankings. I'm excited to see what Joel Embiid is going to do over the next couple years of his career. The game is certainly shifting away from centers, but Joel Embiid just seems to be a guy who's making the game shift back towards him. So keep an eye out on Embiid as the process continues to evolve in the NBA. Let's go to number 4 here. Let's talk about a little Steph Curry action. Now, his stats, if you look at his stats, his points per game, versus his last MVP seasons, obviously the back-to-back MVPs a couple seasons ago, this is just another classic Steph Curry season. He's shooting great from threes, averaging almost 30 points a game. The Warriors are absolutely rolling, though they've been a little bit iffy since the All-Star break. But look, it's Steph Curry at the end of the day. And with a healthy Steph Curry playing a full 82 games, or close to a fully healthy 82 games, he's going to end up on just about every single MVP list every single year. He's shooting 44% from 3. The dude shoots as well from 3 as most players do from the floor in general. It's Steph Curry, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't think he at least belongs in the MVP conversation, then you're just not watching enough basketball. He's had another sensational year. I would have put Durant on this list, but with all the drama, with all the free agency crap, Steph Curry has really been the consistent force that has kept the Warriors ship in the right direction. Will Steph Curry win another MVP in his career? Let me know in the comment section below. Give me a Y for yes, give me an N for no. I'm going to say no. It just seems that the young crop of the NBA is starting to kind of overtake the current guys. I know that Steph Curry and the likes of Kevin Durant, they're in their prime, but the Giannis's are coming through now. Kawhi's now fully healthy. You're getting a whole new crop of young guys coming through with, Embiid and Jokic and all these crazy cats. I just don't know if they're going to give Steph another MVP trophy. Usually they give it to the most historically impactful player of the year. I think we've already seen Steph's historical impact, and I just don't know if they're ever going to give him the trophy again. But if you think I'm wrong, you can go to BetDSI right now and put down some money on Steph Curry to win the MVP. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code NBA120 for a 120% deposit bonus. As much as I love Steph Curry, there are really only 3 guys who we could really give legitimate consideration for the MVP award. Let's start at number 3. It is Paul George. What an incredible season Paul George is having this year. I don't even think it's an argument anymore. He is having the best season of his career, bar none. And with a great final stretch the last 20 games or so here, he could vault himself into that number 1 spot for the MVP. Points per game is a career high. Rebounds per game is at a career high. 3-point percentage is also at a career high. Paul George is shooting the lights out for the Thunder this year. Not to mention, he's also been one of the clutchest shooters in the NBA in the fourth quarter this year. I'm a huge fan of Paul George's game. It is awesome to see him be able to come back from that devastating injury and reach these heights. Not to mention, and one of the things that maybe, the Steph Currys can't really talk about, or even a James Harden, which we'll bring up here in a second, he's also arguably been the best defensive player in the NBA this year. He leads the NBA in steals per game. He's one of the best two-way guys. He can defend multiple positions on the floor. I don't think that Paul George is going to win the MVP this year, but it really is awesome to see, with all the drama around him leading Indiana, is he going to go to the Lakers, staying with the Thunder, whatever, that he's been able to put up a season like this and keep the Thunder in title contention. One of the interesting things I wanted to point out here, while the Oklahoma City Thunder may not be a elite historical NBA franchise, look at the last 5 NBA MVPs and look at the guys that the Thunder used to have. Obviously, we know about Harden, Westbrook, and Durant. Now they could potentially also add Paul George onto this list and would have had 4 of the last 6 MVP winners on their team at some point this decade. That'd be absolutely insane, and they still walk away with 0 titles. So the management is all about, it's great to have talent, but it's all about what you do managing that talent that matters. And the Thunder have definitely fallen on some hard times in terms of turning that talent into championships. Let's go to number 2, our 2018 MVP, James Harden, having another fantastic season, arguably one of the best offensive seasons ever, currently averaging 36 points per game, along with 7 assists and 6 rebounds. Look, I mentioned this before, and I talked about this with Chat Sports CEO James Harden before the show. Usually, the MVP award goes to the player that has had the most historically impactful career. If that is true, James Harden should probably get the MVP award again this year. But there's just one problem with giving James Harden the MVP. For how good of a season he's having, for the points that he's putting up, for the 30-plus point game streak that he had that came close to Wilt's, the Rockets are still the 5th seed in the Western Conference. And that kind of team success, holding him back, I think is what's going to end up keeping the trophy from him. The past couple years, the MVP has not only gone to the historically impactful guy, like I said, but team success had a lot to do with it also. When Kevin Durant got the MVP trophy with the Thunder were a top 3 seed. Steph Curry, both those years, 2015, 2016, also the Warriors, obviously one of the best teams ever. Russell Westbrook even got the Thunder to a 4 seed, but he averaged a triple-double for the first time since Oscar Robertson. And then last year, James Harden led the Rockets to the number 1 seed in the West with the best record in the NBA. So the team success with the Rockets this year might end up holding James Harden back. And that, in my opinion, is what has allowed Giannis to vault to the number 1 spot in our MVP power rankings. He has absolutely dominated this year in the Eastern Conference, leading the Bucks to the best record in the NBA. Not to mention, Giannis is also currently having one of the weirdest seasons in NBA history. He could go down as the first first non-center ever to have a field goal percentage at the rim of over 70%. His is currently at 77% around the rim. He doesn't need to shoot threes. He doesn't need an elbow jumper. He's so damn good around the rim that he's going to score 27 points on you while shooting like 20% from 3, even though he only takes about 2 a game. Giannis, to me, is not only having one of the most impressive seasons I think we've seen in a long time, but he's doing it in a way that is so unconventional to the NBA. Not only is he scoring that much around the rim, he's also the best rebounder at his position and maybe already one of the 5 best rebounders in the whole sport, along with averaging 27 a game and also facilitating the Bucks' entire offense. Give Giannis the MVP, in my opinion. I think he has absolutely dominated this year. So I want to know from you guys, who will win the 2019 NBA MVP award? Will it be Paul George? Will it be James Harden? Or will it be Giannis, the Greek Freak? Personally, I think you got to give it to Giannis. I think he is having way too good of a season. I get it. James Harden's averaging 36 a game. I get it. Paul George might be right now the best two-way player in the entire NBA. But if you're trying to match up here, you're looking for historical impact, individual impact, team success, and eye test, Giannis for all 4 of those categories. He has swept the floor. He's swept the floor with the rest of the Eastern Conference this year. I want to reiterate this because I said it before and I want to say this again. Giannis is averaging 27 points per game, averaging 2 attempted threes, only making 20% of them, and shooting 77% around the rim. 27 points a game, and he really only gets his points at the bucket. That is outrageous. This isn't Shaq. He's not Akeem. This is a forward doing this. It is absolutely outrageous. He's the anti-James Harden, if we're really trying to make some MVP comparisons here. I think with also, I want to say this. I did give Paul George the credit for being the best two-way player in the NBA right now. Giannis is a damn good defender in his own right. Whether that comes from actual ability remains to be seen, but, I mean, he's a tree. He blocks everything. He also has the most blocks per game of any forward that qualifies in the NBA this year. He's got the defense. He's got the offense, historical impact, team success. And I mean, if you watched any basketball this year, it's been pretty obvious that Giannis has been the best player in the NBA. Let me know in the comment section below, who do you think will win the MVP? Will it be Paul George? Will it be James Harden? Will it be Giannis? Or will it be a surprise candidate that we did not mention? Make sure to comment below. And of course, subscribe to us here at Chat Sports.